Hello, North Penn High School. My name is Daniel Krueger, and I'm here to present to you the emerging challenges of cyberbullying. So what is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is bullying that takes place using electronic technology. Now, electronic technology can include anything from, cell phones to tablets to, home personal computers, as well as the many forms of social media that our students are using nowadays. Right? It shouldn't be a surprise that as this technology becomes more prevalent in our students' lives, so does this heinous act of cyberbullying. So, how prevalent is cyberbullying today? Well, since 95% of teens in the United States are online, that means that there's a lot of opportunity for cyberbullying to occur. Right? 7 in 10 people in the U.S. experience cyberbullying before they hit the age of 18. The most common target for cyberbullies are children or young adults, especially girls, and also especially members of the LGBTQ community. And one thing I thought that was interesting is that cyberbullying was actually more prevalent in schools that tried to ban the use of cell phones. So it appears that taking away students' phones during the school day doesn't decrease cyberbullying. Now, there's many different forms of cyberbullying, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But in a poll that we see here, 35% of the incidents of cyberbullying in the U.S. happened because of a screenshot of somebody's status was kind of like sent around in a group chat so that everybody could take a laugh at it. And then 25% reported, trolling in an online game. So playing these online games, students get vicious and they say horrible, hurtful things, and hopefully try to get another person to respond or take the bait, if you will. And we see that we have students openly being mocked, trying to annoy somebody that they didn't like online, sending nasty messages, and so forth. All right. Now, a lot of times there's a lot of different names for these forms of cyberbullying. For example, exclusion is one form of cyberbullying where you're just, excluding somebody that doesn't have, the right technology like the iPhone or the Instagram account, and you're just kind of like leaving that person out of the group. Right? There's also harassment, calling somebody names online, just saying hurtful things. Right. You have outing, which is, publicly trying to humiliate somebody. Right. Cyberstalking is a particularly dangerous form of cyberbullying where attackers are using social media to harass their students, and even adults are trying to use social media to meet young people. Something called fraping, which is impersonating somebody else on social media, is an interesting problem. In fact, it goes as far as them creating fake profiles to impersonate the students, trying to, make it seem like the student is saying things that they wouldn't normally say online. Triggering is kind of just gaining somebody's trust in order to kind of, get their personal information or get some information from that person after you've gained their trust. Right? We've probably heard of internet trolls. So trolling is somebody that attacks somebody and they're trying to get a response from that student. Like an emotional response from them. And then we have catfishing, which is creating a fake profile that's used for deception. Catfishing is a little bit different than fraping because that fake profile is not meant to imitate the student, but it's just this fictional person that you're making up. So what are the effects of cyberbullying? We see that in our students who are cyberbullied, they have a heightened sense of insecurity and instability. So this could lead to several consequences. It can lead to a decline in academic performance. It has severe effects on their mental health, which includes like long-term depression and in some tragic cases, even suicide. So the laws, regulations, policies to fight cyberbullying, most states have these bullying prevention laws in place. I think all states but Montana have some type of anti-bullying law. However, there's very few laws that relate directly to cyberbullying, and in most states they just kind of leave it up to the schools to deal with the problem of cyberbullying, which begs the question, does the school have the authority to discipline the students? You know, if the cyberbullying is occurring like on a personal device, you know, off of school property, and you know, not during school hours, and this is tricky because, you know, it's where does you know, the students' free speech right come into play, but courts have decided that yes, in most instances, the schools do have the authority to discipline the students when the speech, even if it's committed off campus, results in a disruption of the school environment. So when, you know, students are harassing, you know, other students in North Penn High School, it is a school issue and open for school discipline. All right, so if you know there's a student that is a victim of cyberbullying, what should you do? First of all, you want to report it to one of the school administrators, just as you would like any disciplinary action. All right. You also want to ask the student to take a screenshot of the cyberbullying so they have evidence that the bullying has occurred. And then finally talk to the student, try to brainstorm a list of ways the student can, you know, continue to be online, but be online in a way that is safe, and a way that discourages, you know, future cyberbullying from occurring. Alright guys, and here is a list of my references that I used to create this presentation. Thanks for listening.